Hey, hope how are you doing, everyone? Good to see you all. Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween, whatever you're doing, wherever you are. I was gonna get dressed up. I've got a Beetlejuice costume. I was very, very close to getting dressed up and doing the full makeup, the full shebang. And then I didn't know. I thought it would have been cringy. In the end, I don't know if it could have been any more cringe, but I just thought, you know what, I can't be bothered. It's going to be too much. As I'm not gonna do it. I'll leave it. We'll do it next year maybe. See how we go. But yeah, I'm not doing Beetlejuice this year. I was going to do Beetlejuice. But hopefully everyone's had a nice Halloween, carving pumpkins, doing the whole shebang and whatever you've been doing. Tonight we're watching Wrexham and Coventry. Wrexham and Coventry. Happy Halloween, Keys. That your costume. Cheers, Liam. Yeah, no, it was very nearly Beetlejuice, but no, instead I went for this, which is my pretty much usual get-up. So yeah, no, we're gonna be watching the Red Dragons tonight. The Red Dragons against the Sky Blues. Wrexham against Coventry. Phil Parkinson against Frank Lampard. Two teams who are they've got promotion on their mind. And as a result, our quiz at half-time centres around promotion. So make sure you're around for the half-time quiz, because it's gonna be good. I've prepared a nice half-time quiz. So yeah, it's gonna be a good game, this one, I think. Coventry undefeated, top of the championship, full of confidence. Wrexham maybe under pressure to kind of convert draws into wins, I would say, tonight. Couple of very decent performances. Obviously, last week they go out, or earlier this week rather, they go out of the Carabao Cup to Cardiff. Obviously, always a difficult one when you go out to your rivals. So it's going to be a really, really difficult game for Coventry. Always difficult coming to Wrexham. The home crowd obviously galvanised them. But Coventry are absolutely flying. I would expect goals in this one. Both teams to score is a very, very safe bet, I would think. Both have shown that they can score and concede in abundance, by the way. Coventry are by no means fantastic in defence, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if Coventry conceded as well as Wrexham tonight. So I've gone over 2.5. That's my pick for tonight. Why are Wrexham and Cardiff rivals? Because they're both from Wales, aren't they? They're both Welsh. They're both Welsh, so rivals in that sense at least. Right, okay, so I'll go through the lineups, because the lineups are out now, so we can go through them. The lineups for tonight are as follows. For Wrexham, it's Okonkwo in goal, Cleworth, Hyam and Scar at the back, Issa Kabore, Sheaf, James, O'Brien in midfield, Liberato Casas on the left-hand side, Windass and Kiefer Moore up front. For Coventry, it's Rushworth in goal, Bidwell at left-back, Kitching, Wolfenden and Kessler Hayden complete the back four. Mason Clark, Grimes, Allen and Sakamoto in midfield. And then it's Thomas Asante and Haji Wright leading the attack for Coventry tonight. So it's going to be a good game, this one. I'm really looking forward to it. 1 second, I can see all the chats coming in. How are we doing? You're going for Coventry, says Alex, and Joe had a great day yesterday. Got a good view of Hibs Stadium and from Arthur's seat. Very nice. Lovely. Are Sunderland and Chelsea rivals, both from England? Well, there's not really any Welsh teams, though, other than Swansea, Cardiff and Wrexham. So there's not really any Welsh teams. It's certainly competing at the top level apart from those three. I mean, Newport. Forgive me, Newport County. I forgot about Newport. But you know what I mean? There's not really an awful lot of interlopers from the Welsh into the English division. Arne Slot is Eric Ten Hag in disguise. Yeah, that's classic. Absolute classic. ZQXV says Fulham in the cup back-to-back is almost guaranteed. Do you think so? I think Fulham might do you, you know. Daz Reynolds says, big up, what's your 11 for tomorrow for Liverpool? It's tough. It's really tough. It depends who's fit. Again, it's all dependent on fitness, mate. We've got that many injuries at the minute. Arne Slot's obviously, he's given an indication that Ryan Gravenberch should be in. So, whether or not Curtis is fit, whether or not McAllister's fit, I would say Ryan Gravenberch and Szoboszlai in the middle with Wirtz would be my three. And then I would have Salah, Gakpo, Ekatike up front. Maybe Isak on the bench. Because again, full fitness, maybe he's still not quite there. Defence, I think you have to go Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, probably Robertson at left back. I think he does start Kirkes. And then obviously Mamardashvili in goal. Lou says, this is why we're the better fans. By the way, Reds lost it after 6 bad games. Try 6 bad years. Do you know what, Lou? Do you know what I think it is? I have to... I wouldn't say you're the better fans. But I would say this. You are a lot more prepared for failure than Liverpool are. Liverpool fans, I would absolutely agree with you. We have been conditioned over the last 10 years. Maybe a younger generation. I'm not saying it's certainly not the vast majority, or at least not the ones that I've experienced anyway. But there is absolutely, online, a cross-section of Liverpool fans who are absolutely unbelievable. You can apply that to most clubs, I guess. But I agree with you. This whole you'll never walk alone mantra that the club has, it's completely lost on these Liverpool fans that we've got. Completely lost on them. Arne Slot, 9 games, less than 9 games is all it took for them to turn on him after an unbelievable, unprecedented season last year. How many managers have come to the Premier League and won it in the first year? The guy's absolutely unreal. He's come in, he's done really, really well. We was top barely 4 or 5 weeks ago. We've had an unbelievable tragedy hit the club this summer, and all it took was 5 or 6 games for the fans to turn on him. It's absolutely unbelievable. These people, honestly, this is why I said they need to give their head a wobble. They need to give their head a wobble. Mika Mas, the league was poor last season, mate. You can only beat who's in front of you. Is the league not poor this season? Is the league poor this season? Do Arsenal not get credit for being top, or is the league fine this season? You can only beat who's in front of you. Lou says, from 2019 onwards, you've been on the high, now losing, and a lot of fans have lost it. He won the league. This is it, Lou. You're dead right. So the league is poor, says Mick. Okay, so Arsenal don't get any credit. Okay, fair enough. Hey, at least you're intellectually consistent. The league has been crap for the last 2 years. Fair enough. I disagree, but fair enough. You think the league is crap last year, it's crap this year, so therefore Liverpool and Arsenal get no credit for winning it. Fair enough. Taylor says, yo, Key, I am watching the Luton v Forest Green game. It was still 0-0 that when I last checked in. Mark J says, imagine if Liverpool don't beat Villa, having spent 400 million over Villa's net spend of 40. Well, Villa have spent far, far more than most. And they were in the Championship not that long ago. So Aston Villa are a horrifically run club. They spent 250 million themselves. Was it last season? I think it was last season, wasn't it? They spent last summer about 250 million quid and didn't improve. And that's why they're not in Europe this year, really. Or at least they're not in the Champions League anyway. Plus they spend about 98% of their turnover on wages. BCFC says the league's slightly stronger, I think. At least the promoted sides are holding their own. I know what you say that, but the promoted sides last season were picking up big results. There were still some big shock results last season. One 0 to Luton, says Taylor. Lou Harwood says, the same way Man U will always be too big to get relegated, you're too big for this to continue. I've said the same. I've said for many, many months now, since I started this channel pretty much, that Man United will inevitably, they can't last like this forever. Inevitably, it is going to change for United. Mark J says, you're factually incorrect on Villa gaslighting. Well, I'm not, though, Mark. What happens is you're a Villa fan and you're a little bit oversensitive, aren't you? Ultimately, Villa keep crying about corruption in the Premier League. Like, it's nonsense, mate. You just shit. You just spend really, really badly. And if you look at the players that Villa have signed, you've spent really, really badly. Really, really consistently over a long time. Right, we're off and underway here at Wrexham. Are we going to get Coventry? Everyone's fancying Coventry tonight anyway. 2-0 to Luton. Bloody hell. Luton flying. Anthony says wage bill is a Villa issue. Well, exactly, Anthony. There you go. Wage is a massive issue for Villa. They keep paying people ridiculous amounts of money. Unai Emery, I think, is one of the most highest paid managers in the whole of Europe. And it's not sustainable for a club like that. If they're not bringing in Champions League money, they're paying Champions League wages to players who are not Champions League players, let's be honest. Mark J says, not talking about corruption, just how Liverpool have spent badly. Liverpool haven't spent badly. Liverpool have been, I think, over the time that we have been in the Premier League, certainly under Jurgen Klopp anyway. From Jurgen Klopp onwards, we have been maybe the blueprint for top teams in terms of how to conduct yourself in the transfer market. We've bought low and sold high for about 10 years. It's only really been maybe in the last 18 months, potentially, there's a little bit of a question mark over our strategy has changed. It's changed ever so slightly in terms of letting players go. We never used to let players go for free, really. There's a few. There was like Emre Can and players like that. But generally speaking, we didn't really let players go for free. Mudzy says, which Chelsea player would you take in your team? Which Chelsea player? Caicedo. Yeah, we could do with a Caicedo right about now. Gary, Villa will bet you lot tomorrow. Let's try again, Gary. Come on, Coventry. Good ball in. Wide. Miles wide. Mark says the Gerrard era was when Villa paid high wages. Since Emery came in, Villa cut wages all round. But you're still paying an exorbitant amount of money for players who aren't good enough. If you look, I mean, we can go back. We can look at the transfer window where you spent over 250 million quid on players who haven't improved the first team, haven't increased in value. Loads of them. Absolutely loads of them. Can't say that for Liverpool. There's lots of our signings who've gone straight into the first team, improved the first team, and increased in value. You can't really say that with Aston Villa. Mark J, okay, let's have a go on then. I'll indulge you. I have done this before on the channel. I'll indulge you. We'll do it again. We'll do it again. Right, Lewis Dobbin, 10 million quid. Ian Matson, 38 million quid. So we're up to 40. Samuel Illing Jr., 12 million quid. Enzo Branakea, 7 million quid. Ross Barkley, 5 million quid. Amadou Onana, 50 million quid. Andres Garcia, 6 million quid. Daniel Marlon, 21.5 million quid. So you've spent there 37, 87, 105, 110, 122, 164, 184 million, and that's just in one window. And not a single one of them you could say is successful. Not a single one. And that's without me including like the likes of Omar Kedri, 2.5 million. Yamar Mosquera. There's loads of Cameron Archer. Cameron Archer's another one. You signed him from Sheffield United in June 2024. 200 million. Mark J, what outgoings? No, we're talking about spending. We're talking about spend. We're talking about quality of signings in. Quality of signings in. What are we talking about them ones? Have any of them gone up in value or improved your first team? Should we just answer that one, Mark? Simple yes or no will do. I'll take your silence as a no. Jordan, nice to see you in the Halloween spirit. I love the Tiger Woods costume. Jordan, update on the 5 goal scorers. My last player was Pedro from Chelsea. It's £10 per goal, so I ain't complaining. And Bermo and Pedro, good chance. Oh, that's alright then. Oh, they don't all have to score. Oh, you might be alright then. Yeah, and Bermo and Pedro could be okay. Do you not want to answer that one, Mark? You not want to answer that question? Any of them? Any of them good signings? Any one at all? Any of them? Martin and Onana, 87 million for the pair. Any of them improved you at all? Daniel Marlin, 21. Any of them? No? No, never mind. Never mind then. I mean, the crazy thing is, it's continued into this season. 28 million on Evan Gesand. 28 million on Evan Gesand. That's not been a great signing, has it? And we can even go back a year. Moussa Diaby, 51.9 million. How did he get on? I think he already left, hasn't he? He's not done too well. Pau Torres, 31.5. Again, not brilliant. Marlon and Matson first team. How are you getting on this season, mate, with Marlon and Matson in your first team? They're doing alright, yeah. They're doing good. Yeah, they're doing alright, aren't they, Villa? Good start to the season. They've really improved you, Marlon and Matson. Exactly the sort of signings you needed after being in the Champions League. Yeah, great couple of signings then. Proven to be good value, I think. At just over 60 million quid. I think there'll be good signings for you then. Anthony says Martin doesn't even start over Digne, and I rate him. Moreno hasn't worked out. Mate, there's loads of them. There's absolutely loads of them at Villa. He can't hide behind it. Every single... There's literally about 15 signings that Villa have brought in over the last 18 months to 2 years, and not a single one of them has improved the starting lineup or increased in value. You can't argue it. You can't argue it. They're just bad signings. They're just really bad signings. Mark J, has Isak improved you? Has Wirtz worked? Why can't you just answer? I will happily answer those questions. Why can't you just answer a really simple question? You've come on to pick an argument and you've been absolutely torn apart, mate. You've been torn apart. Aston Villa, they've not made any good signings basically over the last 2 years. Apart from maybe Morgan Rogers effectively, he kind of saves you, doesn't he? Because he's the one that's... But other than that, oh my God. Talk about regressed. Onana's been decent. I don't think you'll find too many Villa fans who'll agree with you on that one. 50 million quid for Onana is daylight robbery from Everton. Hey, ask Everton if they'd take him back. Ask Everton if they'd take him back. That's how good he's been. Even Everton wouldn't have him back. He's shocking, Onana. Joel Morris, Ross Barkley hasn't been good for Villa. Nope. Ross Barkley, Martin. Moussa Diaby. I mean, to be honest, you spent a shed load of money on Zaniolo Zaniolo cost you about 10 million quid in wages and transfer and loan fee. Zaniolo, what did he do? What did Rashford do? Mark J, 1 point behind Liverpool. Hang on a minute. I just don't understand, Mark, why you can't answer the simple question. It's really, really simple, Mark. One simple question. That's all it is, mate. Just all you need to do. Oh, great chance for Wrexham. He's got to finish it. What are you doing, you absolute moron? Oh, I can't believe that. That was absolutely shocking. All he has to do is have a shot. If he'd have took that on his right foot, Wrexham would be 1-0 in front here. Absolutely dreadful. Mark J, 1 point. Just answer the question. I'll take on all them questions. All them digs you want to throw at, I will absolutely take them on head on. I'll take every single one you want to throw. But just answer one question of mine. Just answer one question, that's it. It's an exchange, it's a conversation, mate. You've got to answer one question, you can't do it. You either can't or you won't. And up to now, I'm guessing it's you won't, because you seem an intelligent guy, Mark. But you literally will not answer that one question. Marks is the worst transfers in your opinion and only 1 point behind. I mean, in October, mate. In October. Sunderland and Bournemouth are in the top 4. Like, I mean, are Sunderland and Bournemouth going to be in the Champions League? Possibly not. Possibly not. Like I said, if Villa are a point behind us in May, then hey, come back to me and you can rip the piss out of me. That's no problem. But I think everyone would reasonably agree that it's not been a great couple of years for Aston Villa. Mark says, okay, shifting the goalpost now. I'm not shifting the goalpost. I'm simply saying that the season is only very, very young. We aren't even a quarter. We are barely 20% of the way through the season. 20%. You're not going to win. You're not going to be making any real serious conclusions until maybe Christmas time at the absolute earliest. But the point being, we're not talking about just this season. I'm talking about a much bigger data set. I'm talking about the last 2 years for Villa. And you won't answer them questions, will you? That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Hey, and for a man of God as well. For a man of God. A man of God to be saying such things. Dave, how's it going, Ike, mate? Hope you're okay with the losses you've had. Only kidding, mate. Hey, I'm not okay, Dave. I'm really not okay. But I'm confident that this weekend we'll put Villa where they belong. We'll put Villa right where they belong. Which is back further down the table. Back in the box. We've got a Villa fan in the chat who refuses to acknowledge that Villa's transfer business has been absolutely abhorrent over the last 2 years. And they continue to pay ridiculous wages to anyone and everyone that will come to the club. Come on, let's get an early goal in this one. Typical Scouser maudlin sentimentality. I'm not Scouse. I'm not Scouse. That might apply if I was Scouse, maybe, if you would think. I mean, I don't know what you think about Scousers, but either way, I'm not a Scouser. So that doesn't apply to me. Dave says, I hope we can do the same on Monday night too, buddy. Are you a Sunderland? Are you a Mackham? Or are you a Toffee? Come on, Wrexham. Let's get an early goal here. Jordan says, Wharton, a massive miss for us. Do you know what they were talking about? I was listening to Glasner the other day about. Chance off the line from Coventry. Ooh. You're blue. Good lad, Dave. It's not been a good few weeks or a good couple of months for Everton, really, has it? Is it one winning? We've got a few Evertonians who frequent the chat. I don't know if is it 1 win in 7. And the one win was against Crystal Palace, wasn't it, funnily enough? Jordan in the chat, our Crystal Palace fan. I'm pretty sure you've only got 1 win in 7. Or it might even be more than that. I'm not sure, but it's been a pretty barren run for Palace too. Mark Woolley back then. Woolley back, absolutely, mate. Woolley back indeed. Yeah, Woolley back indeed. I was born in an L postcode, but just outside is where I grew up. Piss off. Dave, 1 win in 3, mate. We won Crystal Palace the other week. I know, but isn't it more than... Again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. D. Nicol, are you streaming any FA Cup tomorrow? No, mate, I'm not. No, I'm all day Premier League tomorrow. So we've got, starting with Man United against Forest in the 3 o'clock, I think, that one. Let me see if we've got... I'm pretty sure Everton's results have been a fair bit worse than that. Or at least someone came in the chat the other day and we were talking about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, 7. It is. It's 1 win in 7 you've got. So you drew with Villa. You lost to Liverpool. You lost in the Cup at Wolves. You drew with West Ham. And then you beat Palace. And then you've lost in back-to-back games to City and Everton. Sorry, City and Tottenham. Apologies. So, yeah. All good. 3-star Reds, happy Halloween, Key. Great mass, mate. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Very nice of you to say. I very, very nearly got dressed up as Beetlejuice. I was very, very close to doing Beetlejuice. Reese says Villa have one good season and start talking like they're going to win the league. And imagine being the first team to win 6 games in a month and not conceding a single goal. Oh, here we go. Hey, Arsenal fans start talking like they're going to win the league every year. Don't let him dig you out, Mark. Christ, he's been talking like they're going to win the league every year anyway. 5th of October, Crystal Palace win, mate. Yeah, no, you did. You beat Crystal Palace, but before that you had 4 games or 3 games where you hadn't won as well. So it's 1 win in 7 in total. Mikel Arteta, history maker. Yeah, the first manager to bore a team to sleep. Genuinely, I think we might have players collapsing against Arsenal soon. Just certainly, hey, the fans already are, aren't they? The fans are already like, that's Arsenal, sponsored by bloody Nitol. Oh, sweet Lord. Come on. 20 minutes. I'm fed up already here. I was expecting a fast start in this one. Dave, if Arteta don't win the league this year, I think he'll get the boot, mate. Do you know what? I think the club will be happy as long as they're getting Champions League football. I don't think the fans will kick off efficiently or sufficiently for him to lose his job. He has to win it this year. He absolutely has to win it. But if he doesn't, I don't think he goes. I don't think he gets sacked. But I think if he doesn't win it this year, he probably never wins it. The pressure is massively on him to win it this year. They have to win something. So, yeah, somehow, I don't think he gets sacked if they don't win it, though. Arsenal fans will just continue to believe it's coming. It's coming. It is coming, I'm telling you. I know we've had 7 years without a league title, or well, 7 years without winning anything. It'll be, by that point, nearly 25 years without winning a league title, innit? Right, well, it's a Coventry free kick here. Hadji Wright stood over it. Looks like it's more suited to a left footer, though. But Hadji Wright certainly favouring it. Coventry free kick, about 30 yards out. It's going to have to be a good one to beat the keeper, this one. It's the left footer, and it's wide. Josh Sugar Daddy Quigley, how many more games should we give Slot? I'd give him the end of the season at the very least, mate. There is no amount of games I would give him. like, context obviously matters, but like if we start losing 4-5-0 and the players are obviously he's lost the dressing room or there's any signs of that, then fine. But I don't think there is any signs of that. I think I think there's quite obvious explanations for the reason why Liverpool haven't been at the races. Chance, it must be. Oh, big save. Oh, unlucky. Wrexham should be 2 up here. Wrexham should absolutely be 2 up. Josh says, what if we are 9th by Christmas? Honestly, mate, I would happily, well, not happily, let me rephrase that. I wouldn't be happy with it, but I would take a season outside of Europe for Arne Slot. I don't think that we are, I don't think we're immune to a transitional year. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think all managers have to do it, and I don't think there's a better manager around for us. I really don't. I don't see a better manager around than Arne Slot, especially after doing what he did last season. He has money, and especially what's happened to the club over the summer. I just don't think you can find another manager. I don't think you can sack him in all good conscience. I think if you seriously wanted to get him gone, you really do need to give your head a wobble. Honestly, it's absolute madness. Josh, I think we should get Brendan back. You're not a Liverpool fan, Josh. You're not a Liverpool fan. Three-star Reds, Christmas tree and the decorations going up in 3 weeks, and just like Arsenal, they'll be coming down before the 12th night. Hey, I'm getting my Christmas decorations up literally as soon as tonight is over with. I'm going to be putting the I've got like a tree and some little decorations for behind me here, so it's all going to look different from pretty much from tomorrow. I'm getting in the Christmas spirit. Coventry chance! Oh, and what a goal that is! What a fabulous goal. Is he onside? He is onside. What a goal. What a ball that is as well. Absolutely unbelievable. Is it Thomas Asante? It's absolutely sensational. This is a great goal. A great finish. They're asking the question if he's offside. Obviously, there's no VAR, and I don't really think... I think he was alright, actually. I don't think he was offside at all. It's a great run. Let's just watch it back. The ball gets played in. Is it Grimes who finds him? Oh, he's miles on. He's miles on. There's no question of offside. It's a great run. And he gives the keeper the eyes and just slides it in the near post. It's a fabulous finish on the half volley. That is so difficult. The keeper, he literally gives the keeper the eyes, doesn't he? It's not. It's actually Sakamoto with the assist. Unbelievable pass from Sakamoto. Absolutely incredible. Great ball, great finish. Fully deserved. Scott, I think Liverpool are going to be a loss tomorrow, and it's 7 out of 7 in all competitions. Well, hey, if that's the case, that's the case. What we're saying, 3-star Red's going to beat United this Saturday. Rubes, it's in our 2 stars on our shirts. And Rubes, that's just wrong key. Christmas starts in December. No, not for me, mate. For me, Christmas starts literally as soon as Halloween's over. I'm banging into Christmas. And Huncho, why is your fraud manager talking about pre-season in November? I think he's talking about pre-season because there's a number of players who have got injured and haven't had pre-seasons. So again, he's talking about fitness. He's not talking. He was asked, if you go back to the press conference, I'm assuming you've not watched the pre-match press conference, but he was asked about fitness and his explanation involved. I think the reason why a lot of these players are picking up injuries is because a lot of them didn't have, pre-seasons, or at least not full pre-seasons, or they got injured in pre-season. So pretty much all of the players who we've got out now had disrupted pre-seasons. And that's why he's talking about the importance of pre-season. Last season we were able to keep a big chunk of our squad fit. This season we haven't been able to. Josh says Brendan did well with a lot more limited resources. You must be joking me, mate. You must be absolutely joking me. Brendan Rodgers was a shocking manager for us. Dylan, hi, I'm dressed as the Joker tonight. Nice. I was very nearly going to come on as Beetlejuice tonight. Yeah, I was so close to Beetlejuice. JM Audits, Play Up, Sky Blues and Rubes. Christmas starts on December 23rd and finishes on the 26th. My birthday starts on the 27th. Listen, I mean, hey, if you're a birthday in December type of guy, then I can understand. You might want the attention limited for Christmas and back onto your birthday. I can understand that. Coventry should be 2. Unlucky, he's gone behind. I tell you what, Coventry are in front, but they are very, very fortunate. I still think. I seriously think Wrexham should have been at least 1-0 up. Huncho, I know that, but we're in November. That's outrageous to be using that as an excuse. Well, I'm assuming you haven't seen the press conference because he literally word for word says, after those words leave his mouth, it's not an excuse. That is not an excuse for our performances. So, again, you know, it's not outrageous because he literally states it's not an excuse. He was asked about fitness. He gave an answer about fitness, which I think is entirely reasonable. Unless you're looking for a reason. If you're looking for a reason to have a dig, then I can understand why you would think it's outrageous. Steve Keane, how's it going? Good to see you, man. I am Crute, think Ange Postecoglou will ever manage in the Prem again. I do, yeah. I do. Listen, I think Ange Postecoglou's a decent enough manager and will be back in the Prem at some point. You can't be winning European trophies and, you know, he wins quite a lot at Celtic. I think he did well at Tottenham in his first year. His second year was pretty poor and he went into Forest and it's been a difficult time for him at Forest, admittedly. But he was only there for 8 games. So, yeah, I'm not overly concerned that Ange Postecoglou's career is over or anything like that. I do firmly believe that we'll see him back in the Premier League at some point. I am Crute. I can't see who'd bring him in after what happened at Forest. But I think most clubs understand that what happened at Forest was it was literally like 8 games, mate. No one's making any conclusions on a manager after 8 games, apart from Liverpool fans on a manager who's the champion. Yeah. So apparently Liverpool fans happily make conclusions on a manager that's a title winner, that has won a Premier League title in his first year, which is a feat that very, very few other managers have managed. But Arne Slot has, without making any signings. So yeah, Arne Slot, he apparently he does get judged after 8 games, but I don't think Ange Postecoglou will. Steve says, what do you think about Martin O'Neill at Celtic? Well, he's saying that it's very specifically not a long-term gig, and I'm surprised at that. I thought he might be. I thought he might be giving it more of a chance as a long-term thing, but evidently no. Huncho says, using an excuse that Man City have a bigger squad than him when he chose to have a smaller squad. I don't think, again, he didn't use... You're saying it as an excuse. He keeps saying very specifically these are not excuses for our performance. Like, the guy is word for word has said it's not an excuse. So, I mean, you're claiming it's an excuse. He's never said it's an excuse. In fact, he's very specifically said the opposite. This is not an excuse. So it's not an implication. He's literally said it's not an excuse. Huncho says maybe because one spent 500 million on an already Prem winning side. Yeah, but he lost a lot of players as well, didn't he? Lost an awful lot of players. I think if you lose an awful lot of players and you spend less than Arsenal have, yet again, Arsenal spending more than any other team, I think inevitably you're going to look at it and think, well, Arsenal have got to win the league. So it's not, we're only 3 points off second. If Liverpool finish second this season, nobody's kicking up a fuss, are they? We're 3 points off second. Still very, very early in the season. Ray, Liverpools still crashing out. Liverpools. It's always a good way to tell us single-digit IQ that when they start using things like Liverpools, loser pools. Super intelligent. Huncho says, how did Arsenal spend more? Go and have a look. Go and have a look. Arsenal spent more than Liverpool. Yeah, Arsenal spent more than Liverpool. Go and have a look at it. Go and check it. Arsenal spent far more. Yet again. Yet again, repeatedly. Spent more last year, spent more this year. Spent more over the last 6 years. Since Mikel Arteta came in. Far more. Far more over 6 years. Far more last year, far more this year. Continuing to spend more. Hasn't won a bean. But again, it's not about Arsenal. But it kind of is if you're going to make it about failure and Arne Slot has at least come in, spent nothing, won a league title. Pissed the league title. Mikel Arteta spent a fortune, not won a bean. I am Cruz. He could have got one of Isak or Wirtz and then invested the money from the other into the squad. Well, listen, he could have, mate. Yeah, but again, no, we've all got 20/20 hindsight, haven't we? Everyone has got 20. I don't know a single person, right? Funnily enough, I'm not saying it like, oh, I told you so, but I literally said last summer, and I said last season, before the end of last season, I don't think Liverpool win the league. I still don't think Liverpool win the league. I always thought it was going to be difficult for us to win the league, and I still don't know many people at all, whether Liverpool fans or not, who came into my chat over the summer and said, not sure about Liverpool's summer, not sure about some of them signings. There's not a single one. Honcho says Liverpool spent half of Arteta's whole 6-year budget in one window. Have a look again. Arsenal spent more last year and this year. And over 6 years. What are you on about? Honcho says Klopp gave him a league-winning team. It's not difficult. A league-winning team that finished third. Jurgen Klopp. Let me just check this again. My head's all over the place here. I obviously can't understand what these people are saying. Jurgen Klopp left Arne Slot a title-winning team, but Klopp didn't win the title with it. Klopp could only finish third with it. Can someone explain that to me? Apparently it's a title-winning side. People are just desperate to not give him credit. How many managers have we seen come into the Premier League and literally win the league in their first season? There's not many. And I bet there's nobody other than Slot who came in, spent nothing at all, literally worked with the players that he had, just worked with the squad that he had, and won the league as well. Nobody did that. Christ, that's the most impressive debut season of any manager. Any. Came into a team that finished third, won the league without spending a penny. I am Cruz. Oh, we've done that one, sorry. Alex Macklin, these people unbelievable on here, pure jealousy. Apparently we're now going to get Semenyo, Wharton and Gay and Mackery's off to Madrid. Alexis McAllister going to Madrid would make a lot of sense, I think. Yeah. Alexis McAllister going to Madrid would make sense. Jack Wills says Slot won the Prem with a new squad in his first season. He won the Prem with a new squad in his first season. Well, he didn't win it with a new squad. It was yeah. I mean, I guess it was new to him. Yeah, it was new to him. Wrexham with a long free kick in, cleared away. I think that's going to be a foul. Foul to Cov. Rubes, I said Liverpool signings were a bit weird. I mean, you say everything's a bit weird though, Rubes. And you didn't say they were bad. You didn't say they were bad. You might have said weird. I don't know if you did use the word weird, but you certainly didn't say they were bad signings. I am Cruz says, I'm not really sure if we need Semenyo unless Salah is off. I don't think we need Semenyo. Yeah, I don't think we need Semenyo. I think Liverpool need to focus their energies on a centre-back, a central midfielder, and possibly even a goalkeeper. Honcho says, explain how he spent all that money on a league-winning side and dropped into 7th. Well, he's only 7th in October, mate. Like, we have to apply a bit of context here. He's 3 points off second. Like, it's entirely plausible. It's entirely plausible that Liverpool are second after this weekend. So, again, if that's the case, if Liverpool are second after this weekend, would that drastically alter your opinion? Probably not. You'd still say, well, Liverpool have been terrible this season, but we'd be second. Like I said, people don't really seem to want to answer that question. 3-Star Red says, Forest squad this season was cobbled together in the last couple of weeks of the transfer window. 8 games gone, and the usual pundits have us down for relegation. It's not going to happen. No, Forest aren't going down. Forest won't go down. G. Lawrence says, in the last 12 points Arsenal have collected, Liverpool have collected no points, Key. Not good enough. But you could also say that in the last 6 years, Arsenal have spent an absolute fortune, far more than Liverpool, and haven't won anything. It's not good enough, is it? Liverpool, meanwhile, have won league titles. We've been to multiple Champions League finals. We've been to multiple Champions League finals. We've won league titles. We've won. Basically, Liverpool have won. Whereas Mikel Arteta has spent far more. It's just not good enough, is it, mate? It's just not good enough for Arsenal. It's terrible. Hi, I'm Groot. I'd get a right back personally. Frimpong worries me. He can't defend and he seems injury prone. What do you mean he can't defend? He's played like 3 games. He's played like, how have you determined he can't defend? Night Hawk, the Borough are going up. Borough are never going up. Not a chance. Not a chance. AFC, imagine Slot getting sacked before Arteta. And do you know what? And that would be laughable, wouldn't it? Arne Slot comes in, wins it in his first year, but gets sacked after about 10 games. Mikel Arteta, not won a sausage in 6 years, spent more than everyone else, basically, and doesn't get sacked. That tells you about the standards. That tells you about the standards of the club and just how much bigger Liverpool are than Arsenal, evidently. That Arteta can continue to play this dull, boring football that puts everyone to sleep and still win nothing. But apparently he's fine, he's got a pass. I'm Kroot, he played as a wing-back for Leverkusen. He isn't a natural right-back. He played a right-back for Celtic. He played a right-back for the Netherlands quite a few times as well. And he's played a multitude of positions. I think the fact that he's not played right-back, he's played more as a wing-back, does not mean that he can't defend. I think what you're doing there is putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. We don't know that Frimpong can't defend. I don't think there's any evidence that Frimpong can't defend. The idea that he can only play as a wing-back is, I mean, quite frankly, I think that's nonsense. I didn't see a better right-back around Europe that we could have realistically signed to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold. There weren't that many around that were, let's say, gettable for Liverpool. Unless you're going to go and like really put the bolt out and get Hakimi. You're never gonna replace Trent Alexander-Arnold, are you? So I didn't see a better sort of young, realistic, value for money right back signing than Frimpong. I just didn't see it. Huncho says your team had players like Alisson, Van Dijk, Salah, etc. compared to what he had. There's some context. Well, he's had the best 2 centre backs in the league for the last 3 or 4 years, hasn't he? He spent 100 million on Declan Rice. That didn't do too much for him, did it? Guy spent a fortune. Like I said, ultimately, he spent a fortune and hasn't won a bean. So, you can. It doesn't matter about, you can say, you can apply context and say, well, Liverpool in 2019 had a better squad than Arteta when he first came in. I would agree with you. Do you think we had a better squad in 22, 23? Like, do you think all this money that Arteta spent is necessary? Do you think it's necessary? Has it been part of a journey, do you think, in terms of rebuilding the squad? Because here's the answer. Here's the thing now, because you've been backed into a corner. If you answer no to that, then Arteta's liable, isn't he? He's not done well enough. Or if the answer is yes to that question, then what you're also saying is that Arne Slot is totally justified in what he's doing. Arne Slot deserves more time. If it takes time to build a team, surely Arne Slot deserves more than 1 year. More than 1 year is required for a manager to come in and take over a side that has literally finished third. Huncho says Klopp won 1 league title in 9 years. And Arne Slot equalled that record in 12 months. But apparently he's a fraud, according to you. Would you argue that is Klopp not one of the best managers we've ever seen in the Premier League? Would you not say Klopp is one of the greatest? G. Lawrence says Liverpool broke the record transfer fee twice in this window alone. You keep going off on a tangent though, mate. You don't want to answer the same question. You don't want to answer questions, do you? Just keep parroting the same rubbish. Just answer simple questions. You know, like I say, you don't like the fact that Arsenal spent all this money and haven't won anything. They've got to win something eventually. If they don't, Mikel Arteta's just proving what an absolutely dreadful manager he is. Dreadful. Huncho says, and you're criticising Arteta after 5 years. The hypocrisy. No. For a kick-off, Jurgen Klopp did not spend anywhere near what Mikel Arteta has. Right? Didn't spend anywhere near what Mikel Arteta has. And he was also getting us to European multiple European finals within the 6 years that Arteta's had at Arsenal. He hasn't spent anywhere near the money. He hasn't had anywhere near the resources. He took over a team that was worse than Mikel Arteta's Arsenal took over. So he took over a team that was worse. He spent a lot less and he did a shitload more. And within 6 years, by the way, he had already won a title. So I don't know what you're saying. Trophies don't equate to somebody being a good manager or right, okay. Trophies don't equate to someone being a good manager. We've heard it all now. We've heard it all. Trophies don't equate to being a good manager. Goals don't equate to being a good striker. Points don't equate to being in good form then, I guess. G. Lawrence, has anyone else noticed Key's lives for the last few weeks have literally been 99% Arsenal related? It's because you keep coming in, though. It's because you keep coming in and asking questions about Arsenal. If you keep coming in and talking about Arsenal, inevitably we're going to talk about Arsenal. Like I said, we can always... You don't have to come in, though, mate. He is right. You don't have to... If you don't enjoy it, you don't have to come in. Harry Howe, one of the best, unfortunately, for Newcastle. He will end up doing the England job. Probably. Yeah, probably so. G. Lawrence 94, likewise, Key, you don't read out certain comments, bro. I wonder why. Well, I read all yours out. I mean, they're usually all the same thing, but I do read yours out, don't I? I do read them out. Still talking about Arsenal. Well, again, I'm still talking about Arsenal because people talk about Arsenal. If people talk about them, then, you know, it's there, isn't it? Huncho says, okay, so Kane was crap at Spurs because he didn't win a trophy. Well, I think the metric for measuring players isn't trophies. I think the metric for measuring managers is trophies. Would you not agree? I think trophies are a measure for a manager. Trophies are not a measure for a player. Because there are many players who've played in pretty poor... Top players who've played in pretty poor teams, or at least average teams. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of them. There's not many top elite managers who haven't won anything. Are there? There's not many of them, and there's a reason for it. The reason is because managers are measured by trophies ultimately. At least at the very elite level. There are some really, really good managers who kind of manage lower to mid-table and are really good up to a point, but then can't. Like David Moyes. David Moyes, brilliant manager, absolutely brilliant manager, David Moyes, but he can't get past that ceiling, can he? It's not his forte. He can go up to here, but he can't really go past there. Huncho says trophies are your metric to judge world class. Not players. Not players. Do you know why? Do you want me to explain why it's not managed? It's not a metric for players, but it is a metric for managers. It's not a metric for players because there are players who are brilliant, but play in teams that aren't always geared for success, right? And they can't control that. They can only control their performances. They have it's not within their span of control to win trophies, because we know that trophies are a team. You have to be a good team to win trophies, don't you? For managers, it is within their span of control. They have total control of the team. They pick the team, they motivate the team, they sort the tactics, everything. All the decisions, they buy the players, they sell the players. Everything within that team is within their span of control. So if a manager wins a trophy, if a team wins a trophy, the manager is absolutely a big factor in that. If a team wins a trophy, there are a number of players who have played a part in that. John Zena says, not going trick-or-treating as Mr. Penguin. Not tonight, mate, no. I was going to go with Simon Wilson. G. Lawrence, I do have you a little rattled most nights, though, don't I, Key? You don't, mate, to be honest, listen, you've been in the chat a long time, mate, and you've seen the amount of people who come in. I very, very rarely mute. I don't mute or block anyone. Because there's nobody can come, there's nobody rattles any cages with me. Nobody rattles any cages. Listen, Liverpool have lost 6 on the spin, and I've had plenty of stick in the chat. Not blocked or muted anyone. Unless they come in and say things about, Hillsborough or Jota or anything that will actually upset other people. It's watered off a duck's back to me, mate. You're not going to rattle my cage. So, I don't have any issue with people saying whatever they want. You say whatever you want. Have a pop as many times as you like and have a go as strong as you like. It's all good. I've been called Penguin. I've been called Simon Wilson. I've been called Timu Peter Kay. Oh, all sorts. Whatever you want. Go as hard. I have no problem with it. It's watered off a duck's back. However, it does just get a little bit boring sometimes when you paste the same comments in. So all I would ask, and it's not, I'm not gonna block, I'm not gonna mute. I would just ask you to be more creative in what you're saying, or at least mix it up a little bit. Mix it up, Huncho says, you prove my point. Same can go the other way around. With a manager, it takes time to build. But you're prepared to call Slot a fraud after 9 games, Huncho. So you called Slot a fraud. Your words were Slot is a fraud. 9 games. But you're also saying on the other side that Arteta deserves time. It takes time to build. It's interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Ray says, bro only started Liverpool when they started winning again. Bro only started Liverpool. No, I didn't start Liverpool. Liverpool started in 1892, Ray. With a gentleman called John Holding. Harry, where do you think Newcastle will finish? I think Newcastle will finish about 7th, maybe 8th. I don't see him finishing much higher than that. I think at a push 7th, yeah. 7th is going to be a difficult season for Newcastle, in my humble opinion. Huncho says he's completely regressed the season he got given the budget. But you could also say that for a number of other... I mean, again, Arteta hasn't achieved anything. You're saying regressed, like regression. Can we talk about progression? Can we talk about progression? Forget about regression for a minute. And you're saying it's regression based on the table in October, right? 9 games in. You're saying that Slot has regressed, even though he's 3 points off second. He's 3 points off second, but Slot has completely regressed. And I'm saying that Arteta hasn't sufficiently progressed, despite 6 years of spending far, far more than pretty much anyone else. So I think both... I think your accusation has absolutely no basis, no grounding in evidence at all. 3 points off second. You can't judge a team in October, mate. 9 games in is ridiculous. Not when you're saying at the same time that a manager deserves time, a manager needs time, it takes time to build is what you said. But you're also saying that Slot is a fraud. 9 games. Really? 9 games? Let's have a little bit of perspective. Ollie said, Slot won't get sacked for what he did for yous last season. Anyways, who would you get if you sacked Slot, is what I think about it. You're not going to get anyone better. There's nobody better out there. And Huncho says, Arteta has not regressed. But he's not progressed, has he? He's not progressed an awful lot. In 6 years, 6 years with the money spent, you would have thought he would have won you something serious. Or at least got you to a Champions League final. Or, you would have thought that he would have, for the money that he spent. 6 years, mate, come on. 6 years. Arsenal are a massive club. He has had more resources than pretty much any other manager. More, and he's not won anything. So, like, a little bit of criticism. This is why people are coming in. It's not just like a Liverpool attacking Arsenal. There's loads of fans in the chat from other clubs saying if Arteta doesn't win the league this season, he might get the boot. I don't think he will. But he deserves an awful lot of criticism for the fact that he hasn't won anything so far. For Slot to come in and win it in his first season, to piss it. Come on, mate. You're the one calling him a fraud. Can you at least just, like, wheel back on that one? Can you wheel back on the idea that Slot is a fraud? He's a champion. He's a Premier League champion, and you've called him a fraud after 9 games. Can we at least, let's find some common ground, mate? Come on. Huncho, you can say it like that to make it sound nicer, but you've lost 6 from your last 7. And we're still 3 points from second. We were top. We were top last month. We were top last month. We were literally top of the table last month. Everyone was saying Liverpool are flying. We beat Arsenal. Yes, we've lost 6 from the last 7. We're still only 3 points off second. There you go. What more? There's nothing more that needs to be said. Ray says, yeah, the difference is Liverpool are league champions and on a losing streak. Hey, nothing gets past you, Ray. Nothing gets past you, Ray. No flies on Ray. Lewis says 3 points off second isn't the measure, though. Liverpool need to be top. Why do they need to be top, Lewis? Why do Liverpool need to be top? Why do you keep saying 3 points from second? Do you want to finish second or top? Oh, we want to finish top, but if Liverpool finished second, that wouldn't be, like, completely unacceptable, would it? If Arne Slot finished second this season, that'd be a decent season for Liverpool, wouldn't it? Be a pretty good season. You finish second. It's not bad at all. If you spend less than Arsenal again, and Arsenal win the league this season after not winning it for 6 years, we've had massive upheaval. Trent left, Diaz left, Jota died. Like, all this stuff has happened to Liverpool. Arsenal have had a massively stable period. They've spent more than Liverpool yet again. Yeah, if Arsenal win the league this year, it's about time. Yeah, like, it's about time they win the league. Huncho says 3 points off second sounds better than 7 points off top. And yeah, but it's true though, isn't it? 3 points off second. Liverpool could be second in the league after this weekend, could they not? I'm not saying anything that isn't true. Liverpool could be second in the league this season. Huncho, because you're current champions and spent 500 million. So anything less than first, in your opinion, anything less than first for Liverpool is abject failure. Is that your opinion? Because again, I would disagree. Maybe you don't think Arsenal are that good then. Are Arsenal not that good? If Liverpool finish second, I don't think that would be a bad season. Evidently you do. James Bidder, Arsenal haven't spent more than Liverpool. Again, you're wrong. Arsenal have absolutely spent more than Liverpool. They spent more than us this season. They spent more than us last season. And they spent more than us over the last 6 years since Arteta came in. '94 KSP says, I'm a United fan and Slot cannot be a fraud. He's won the league. Very, very true. Lewis says, you won the league last season and broke the British transfer record twice. Right. Again, you're not saying anything that... I don't understand what point you're making here, Lewis. Again, you're not willing to answer simple questions. The very simple question is... if Liverpool finish second, would that be a bad season? Would that be failure? And the answer for me has to be no, given the context of everything that's happened over the summer and the fact that Arsenal have again spent more than us after repeatedly spending more than us over the last 6 years, last season, this season. I think inevitably that's going to catch up. Absolutely. Okay, hey, listen, that's at least you're intellectually consistent, Huncho. You're saying that Liverpool have to win the league. Anything less is abject failure. And obviously you don't think Arsenal are very good. That's fair enough. That's totally fine. That's absolutely fine. Lewis, I think it's a failure if either don't win the Premier League. One of them will fail this season. You think it's a failure if either don't win the league? I just see. I think, yeah. I mean, hey, I think that's a that's a slight misnomer, because I don't think it can be a failure if either of them win the league. One of them has to be absolute failure if they win it, if they don't win it, and the other one, if they win it, that's a great success, apparently. It can't be either or. What you're talking about there is the absolute polarity of social media. Like, again, bit of nuance to it, please. Forest Green penalty. Hayden says, but what if you don't finish second? Would a third or fourth place finish be a failure in your opinion? A third or fourth place finish for Liverpool this season I think is entirely possible. If we were to finish below City, would I say that's failure? No, not immediately. Again, it depends a lot on context. Like, I think you can finish fourth, but it's how you finish fourth. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we finish fourth on the last day of the season and we're struggling all the way through, then he goes into next season with immense pressure. If we have injuries like we've had in the early part of this season, and, you know, maybe Salah gets injured at the AFCON, and I don't know, all these, there's a number of things that can happen, but let's say Liverpool have a pretty bad year again in terms of injuries and whatever else, and then we finish fourth. Contextually, you could look at it and say, well, okay, fair enough, at least we got away with one transitional year, we go again next year. Liverpool have absolutely got problems to address in the squad. That's why I said I didn't think we'd win the league this year. I didn't think we'd win the league this year. I said that last season, I said that over the summer. I am Crute in the summer. Everyone said Liverpool have no expectations now after Jota died. 2 months later. There you go. Absolutely correct. 2 months later. 2 months later, and everyone was willing to change on that. Huncho, you're just going to ignore that comment, no, mate. Huncho, listen, Huncho, I've got a big, busy chat going on, mate. Right? I've got a very busy chat going on. You're not the only guy in the chat. So if I don't respond to you within 30 seconds, Chief, it ain't just about you. Do you know what I mean? We're having a conversation with multiple people. But I'll happily tell you, I mean, it's a Google search. It is a Google search. You can Google it yourself. Google is your friend. I'm not going to tell you anything that Google isn't. Arsenal have spent more than Liverpool this season. I can happily find you. I'll do it now. I'll do it now for you. Go on, we'll have a little look. Let's have a little look, shall we? Come on. There we go. Let's just confirm it for Huncho, seeing as he can't Google. Let's do it. Okay. So... Arsenal spent 283 million this summer. Liverpool spent 263 million. There you go. A full 20 million euros. Enlightened One says teams flop when players get injured, let alone pass away. Well, again, listen, this is why you can't take a lot of these people seriously, because either they're trying to kid themselves, either they're very intelligent and they're just trying to kid themselves, or they're on the wind up. Sometimes it is that. Sometimes they're just on the wind up. And that's fine, because you can usually see through it. You can pick holes apart in it, like I've just done with this Huncho fella. It's easy enough. You just pick holes in it and they fall apart. But then there's some who are just thick. They're just thick. Slots, loser pool, Liverpools. 6 out of 7, 009, Verts. Yeah, it's the same shit, lads. It's the same shit, and we're 3 points off second. We're the champions and we're 3 points off second. And Arsenal have spent more than us yet again. Yet again. Pete James 773, you still going on? I am. Yes, I'm still here, mate. I'm still here. Ross of the Goat says Arsenal actually spent their money well, unlike Liverpool, who spent 400 million on 5 players. Right then, Liverpool, but for what it's worth, Liverpool have signed players who are generally young, like 23 and under for the most part. 23, 24 and under. Arsenal are signing players like Eze and Gyökeres who are 27, 20, it's 3-4 years difference. So again, we're signing players for the long term. Arsenal are signing players for right now. And the reason that it's a strategy difference, isn't it, at the end of the day? Arsenal have signed players for right now because they've looked at it and gone, we have to win. We literally have to win. We have spent a fortune. If we don't win again, Christ, we can't keep spending more than everyone and not winning anything. So what we have to do is we have to change strategy and we have to buy players who are ready right now. We have to go and get Zubamendi. We have to go and get Hincapié. We have to go and get, Eze. These are the players who we have to go and buy to try and push us forward. To try and get, and Norgard. Players like that. Immediate step in. Liverpool aren't doing that. Liverpool are buying Wirtz. We're buying Kirkes. We're buying Ekatike. We're buying players who are a lot younger, we're going to take a little bit of time. We've got Rio Ngamoa as our backup left winger. You guys have got Gabriel Martinelli. It's a complete shift in mentality. A complete and utter shift. James, I think when you talk about progression and compare Slot to Arteta, consider the squad's inherited. But you also have to consider the time. Arteta has had 6 years. Slot has had 12 months, and in that 12 months he's won a title. Arteta hasn't won a title, has he? So, hey, Slot's been to a cup final. Slot's been to a cup final and won a title, and he only got beat by the reigning European champions on penalties. So again, and then we had a player die over the summer. I just don't understand how people have literally not got a degree of sympathy or even any understanding of nuance of football. The guy's got total and utter credit in the bank. The guy is not going anywhere. He has got absolute credit in the bank, whereas Mikel Arteta continues to spend more than anyone else. He spent more than Liverpool this season, spent more than Liverpool last season, he spent more than anyone over the last 6 years pretty much. The guy has had more resources than anyone cares to mention, and he's not won a bean. So again, all these things need to be taken into consideration. Finster, I still back Slot, but these tactics are just not working. I don't think it's the tactics. No, I really don't. James Bidder, Man City and Liverpool both spent more in the last year. Again, James, you're wrong. We've just done this. I've just had a moron like you in the chat on YouTube saying I've told you the figures. I'll tell you them again. Go on, I'll tell you them again. Arsenal last year spent 283.2 million. Liverpool spent 263.4. Arsenal spent 20 million more than Liverpool last year. 20 million more than us. Yet again. And we can go back. We can go back again. We'll do it the season before. Why not? Let's do it the season before. What about last year? Let's do... in fact, we could probably factor in. Let's just do the last year. Let's do the last 2 years. Why not? The last 2 years. And then we'll talk about that. Let's do the last 2 years. So in the last 2 years, in terms of expenditure, Arsenal have spent a full 50 million quid more than Liverpool. That's in the last 2 years. If we go back to since Mikel Arteta arrived, let's have a look since Mikel Arteta arrived. How much they spent? Oh, it's nearly double. It's nearly double. It's absolutely sickening. Liverpool FC have spent 517 million in the last 6 years since Mikel Arteta joined. 517 million for Liverpool, 946 for Arsenal. There you go. Nearly double you've had, and you haven't won a sausage. We've been to Champions League finals in that time. We've been to multiple Champions League finals in that time, and we've won a league title, and we've won loads of domestic cups. What's Arteta won? Not a sausage. Stephen Yen, does net spend factor in wages, bonuses, agent fees? No, it doesn't. Stop using it. We can talk about agent fees. Arsenal spent more than Liverpool. We can talk about all this. Again, you talk about wages, bonuses, agent fees. Like Arsenal have spent a lot less on wages and bonuses than Liverpool. It doesn't make up for 500 million quid's worth of difference, mate. I promise you. I absolutely promise you the difference in wages and bonuses and agent, it doesn't make up for 500 million quid of difference. You might want to just recalculate that. I absolutely assure you that Arsenal have spent nearly double what Liverpool have over the last 6 years and haven't won a bean. Liverpool have been to multiple Champions League finals, with the Premier League champions, with 3 points off second. Everyone wants to have a cry. And we lost a player in the summer who again, unprecedented. Everyone in the papers, the press, everyone was super understanding. Low pressure on Liverpool this season. Whatever happens, like Arne Slot, unbelievable. If they win anything, it's going to be absolutely sensational. And yet 9 games, not even 9 games in. Christ, people were calling for his head 3 games ago. 4 games ago. We were top last month. Reveal Clothing says Liverpool fans can't accept they're in crisis after spending 450 million to go backwards. 3 points off second. 3 points off second. Oh, nearly 2-0 for Cov. Can't believe I've not even got the bloody... I've not even got the friggin' scoreboard back on. There you go. Let's get the scoreboard back on. Ollie Marley, this debate's still going on. It's not really a debate. It's settled science. It's absolutely settled science. People keep coming in and say, oh, Liverpool have spent more than Arsenal. Simple Google will tell you that they haven't. Simple Google will tell you that Arsenal have spent more than Liverpool last season, more than Liverpool this season, and more than Liverpool over the last 6 years since Arteta came in. Quite comfortably. Double what Liverpool have. Shah says, what's funny is you never saw this coming. Thought you would piss it. Again, check the videos over the summer, Chief. Check the videos over the summer. I many times in every stream, people were saying, who do you think's going to win the league this year? And I said, I don't think it's going to be us. I think we're in a difficult moment. Obviously, after Jota and everything, I thought we would take a year. And I think at least, I don't think there was many people who thought that Liverpool would struggle after the signings we made, but there was a cross section of Liverpool fans, myself included, who thought it's going to take a bit of time. It's quite a lot of change all at once. Rubes says you didn't do the half-time quiz. Hey, nothing gets past you again, Rubes. No flies on Rubes. Huncho says conveniently skipped my comment again, but breaks. You don't get much attention at home, do you? Honestly, you can't be getting too much attention if every single time we skip a comment, he's having a cry about it. Mate, there's plenty of other people who want to have a chat. It's not just about you. This isn't the Huncho show, believe it or not. If you want the Huncho show, get on YouTube, make your own stuff, mate. We'll quite happily tune in. Lewis says Malik Tial, 30 million, absolute bargain. Well, still think Newcastle don't finish in the top 4. Deflection 101. It's not Deflection 101. It's that it's not entirely about you, mate. I know that. Maybe that's something you've not heard in your life. I don't know. Maybe that's something, you've not had too often. It's not all about you. But tonight it ain't all about you, I promise you. Ben, how's it going, man? Good to see you. And Declan and I triple captained Rice. Wish me luck. Hey, I think Arsenal might do all right this weekend. You've only got Burnley, haven't you? You've only got Burnley. If you don't win against Burnley, there's something wrong. There's definitely something wrong. Ollie, Arsenal fans should stop thinking now they're top, the Bruce Almighty. Sunderland and Bournemouth are in the top 5, and that won't happen at the end. Worst fan base in the league. They're not the worst fan base in the league. But, I mean, look, there's There's good fans and there's bad fans in every club. Daniel, hi Key, how are you? Look, white looks good on you. Cheers, man. That's very nice of you to say. I am Crute. If Liverpool beat Villa and Burnley beat Arsenal, the narrative will change again. Hey, if Burnley get a point against Arsenal, the narrative changes. Because this is what the media are doing. The media will literally just push this stuff out, and you get donuts. You get donuts in the chat who just eat it up. They absolutely eat it, lap it up. They said that Liverpool are struggling. Slot out. Yeah, well, let's just have a little bit of context, shall we? Oh, I tell you what, you've defo not. You were definitely born with a silver spoon, you weren't you? You were never told no as a young lad. Lewis says we could finish 5th though and scrape Champions League again. I very much doubt it. I very much doubt you finish 5th and get Champions League, purely because look at the teams that are in Europe this year. Villa aren't going through, are they? Villa are definitely not going through. I think Forest might struggle. Palace aren't really pulling up trees in Europe, getting beat against Larnaca the other day. I think the only way that England get 5th is if those teams start to perform. And English teams as a whole are not doing brilliantly in Europe. And we've got a lot of teams in Europe this year, so there's every chance that we could get the 5th spot. But in my opinion, I think based on the number of teams we have in Europe, the chances are the coefficient gives the extra spot to Spain, Italy, Germany. It doesn't go to the Premier League this year, I don't think, anyway. In my opinion, anyway. Lewis says, does it not go off just Champions League teams? No, it goes off your coefficient, the country's coefficient in Europe. So if Palace go out early, or Forest go out early, or both go... we don't know, but if any of those sorts of things happen, it absolutely kills us. The reason that we got it last year was because Chelsea won the European Cup, the Conference League. Chelsea won the Conference League. United and Spurs were in the Europa League final. And Arsenal went the distance. Liverpool did, all right. We finished top of the Champions League phase. So there was all that sort of stuff, and the coefficient for England was like. Whereas next season, at the end of this season, we really just don't know, do we? We don't know what it's going to look like until we see how those teams in the Europa League and the Conference League perform. James says, are you concerned that Slot said he's not going to change his strategy? No, not really. Not really, no. I think he's got his way of playing. And I think most managers have their way of playing, don't they? And Slot, if anything, has got immense credit during his time in the Premier League for his willing or ability to change formation and change system mid-game. That's one of the things that Gary Neville continuously points out with Arne Slot. Is that unlike a lot of coaches who this is my way of playing and this is how I'm going to play. I think Gary Neville pointed out, I can't remember what game it was last season, but he did like a full profile on it on a Monday Night Football segment where he was like, Arne Slot literally played about 4 different formations in this one game, and I saw them all change, and it was really difficult for the other team to track. So yeah, I don't necessarily think he will change his principles. And I admit he's got to. Why would he change his principles over the sake of 9 games? James, he hasn't shown that well this season. In fairness, I agree it was immense last year. But you say that, mate. You say we've not shown it this season in fairness, but we were literally top last month. We're 3 points off second. Yes, we've lost a lot of games. Absolutely, we've lost a lot of games. But I think you've got to look at it in the right context. And ultimately, what people are doing is enjoying the moment. Because Liverpool haven't lost. We've certainly not lost like this in a very, very long time. There was a spell under Jurgen Klopp where we lost. When we were champions as well, funnily enough, we lost, I think, 6 games on the spin. And we had a spell like this. Wrexham, chance. Ooh, just cleared away, nearly 1-1. Yeah, we had 6 games on the spin under Klopp the year after he lost it, and we did really, really poorly then. The season after we won it, we ended up finishing 4th. And then we kept Klopp, and we ended up regaining, and we ended up nearly winning the quadruple a year later. So, this is why I don't think Liverpool fans are taking at all seriously the idea that Slot will get sacked, and it's nonsense from anyone who is suggesting it. If you're serious about it, I'll happily have a conversation, but your argument falls apart very quickly. Nobody seriously believes that Slot either deserves to be sacked, or should be sacked, or will be sacked. It's absolute nonsense. Bradley, told you I'd come back after the Palace game, but you weren't live, so just popped in to say hi. Good to see you, Bradley. Rubes, remember me. And Daniel, what do you think has been Liverpool's best result since the first international break? Probably Frankfurt. Wrexham! Hey, it's 1-1! What a goal! Big goal from Kiefer Moore. That's a fabulous finish. A really, really good ball across the face of goal, and it's 1-1. 1-1. James says Slot's got enough credit for at least the season. Nonsense that it's already a topic. Exactly. Yeah, at least this season, hasn't he? Big goal, that one though, for Wrexham. I'm saying, is he onside like it really matters? Let's just watch this. Is he on? Oh, I think he would have been. Yeah, I think he is just onside. He's not. I tell you what, if we had VAR, that would have been ruled out. If VAR existed, that goal would have been ruled out there. Yeah, it's not going to be disallowed, Dylan. It isn't going to be disallowed purely because we haven't got VAR in the Championship, but that would have been offside. That definitely would have been offside. BXD, if Villa beat Liverpool, I don't think the league is yours, kid. I didn't think the league was ours. I think you might be right, but I don't think it's because of Villa. I don't think the league's ours anyway. I didn't think the league was ours at the start of the season. I didn't think the league was ours last season, or at least at the end of last season when we were just about to be named champions. I knew that there would be big changes this summer. So, I didn't think we would win the league this year anyway. Reveal if Liverpool lose against Villa, forget the league, you're finishing top 4. And that's, again, I'd be prepared to do that. Yeah, that might be the type of season that Liverpool have, where we finish in the top 4, but maybe we go the distance in one of the cups. Who knows? Might be just one of them seasons. And teams have them. Like I said, teams have them sort of seasons, especially when they've lost key players and they have to rebuild, and especially after the tragedy over the summer. Teams have to have those sorts of seasons. It's inevitable. BXD, what happens when Isak stops playing for you because he wants to move to United next season? Yeah, like I said, I don't think United get Champions League football this season. Ollie, are you doing a 3 PM game tomorrow? I am, mate. Yes, I'm doing Manchester United away at Nottingham Forest. Be yourself, Dylan. Who's your fantasy team for the weekend? Haaland in. I haven't really changed my fantasy team since the start of the season, if I'm dead honest, mate. Right, corner to Cov. Could be 2-1 here. Ball whipped in by Grimes. Oh, cleared away. Hung back in. That's a good ball. Chance. Just about cleared away by Wrexham. Better. And now Wrexham on the counter-attack here. Gary Nugent, Liverpool walked the league. That's all excuses, mate. You spent 400 million. Yeah, less than Arsenal. We spent less than Arsenal. Yeah. We'll just keep reminding everyone that says that nonsense. We spent less than Arsenal yet again. BXD, up the toffees. Hey, up the toffees, 1 win in 7. You lads aren't doing so well either, are you? It's easy enough having a pointing the finger at Liverpool. I mean, saying that, no one blinks an eyelid when Everton have 1 win in 7. That's regular. That's regular as clockwork, 1 win in 7 for Everton. 1 win in 7 for Liverpool, it's headline news, but 1 win in 7 for Everton is just, that's just like an October. Just a general October, that, innit? Plug Walk says Wrexham 1, Coventry 1, it's going to finish. Well, we've got 25 minutes left, I don't know, still a while. Come for a pint, mate. I've never had a pint in my life, believe it or not. Not into beer, lager. I'll pass you a pint through the window, pal. It's very kind of you. I'm a whiskey type of guy. If I'm having anything, I'm not really a big drinker, full stop. But if I was, a nice whiskey, a nice bourbon. BXD, how were the blue flares, my mate? Brilliant. You sure showed us, mate. It's the sort of victory that Everton have had to celebrate over the years, isn't it? Richard Arlison travel and the blue flares. You did us. Oh, you pesky Blues. You sure showed us. Daniel Wilshere gets his first win as a manager. Jack Wilshere. Corner kick here for Wrexham. Could be on for 2-1 here. I think Wrexham, honestly, I genuinely think Wrexham have been the better team in this game. I want Coventry to win, but I think Wrexham have been the better team. Honcho says, I know you had a problem with set pieces, but isn't it ironic that 4 of your 8 wins have come from set pieces? Arsenal, Burnley, Atletico, Frankfurt. I know you had a problem with set pieces, but isn't it ironic that 4 of your 8 wins have come from set pieces? Not really, no, because the other 4 have not come from set pieces. I mean, to be fair, Eintracht hasn't come from set pieces. But yeah, you can say Arsenal did and Atletico did. And I mean, to be honest, you can't even really say Arsenal came from a set piece. You can't really say that. That's not the same thing. Szoboszlai rattling one in from 30 yards. That's not quite the same thing. I mean, I know it's not open play technically, but it's also not the same as a corner. So it's not quite the same. I think most would agree that Szoboszlai's goal was absolutely beautiful to witness, whereas, you know, balls bouncing in off Trossard's thigh like the winner against Fulham is maybe less of a joy. And that's the difference with Arsenal and Liverpool. You talk about set pieces. Set pieces aren't a problem. There's no issue with set pieces. Scoring set pieces is fine. The issue is when it's entirely your approach. That's all that Arsenal have is set pieces. Liverpool at least vary it up. You're the most efficient team in the league. No one's denying that. Certainly the most efficient and the best at set pieces. Nobody's denying that. Huncho, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot a free kick isn't a set piece. How silly of me. Well, see, now you're being facetious. I thought we were having a conversation, but hey, if you want to be facetious, that's fine. Daniel, have you seen the fireworks from the Copa Libertadores match? I haven't. No, I haven't. Gary, Anfield used to Everton's home ground. Hey, nothing gets past you, Gary. No flies on Gary. Joe, you bought way more quality than Arsenal. That should be winning titles. But not when you switch out the squad depth. I mean, squads win titles, don't they? How many times have we seen that? Squads win titles. Arsenal bought an awful lot more quality in terms of the squad. They bought players in who could play, who they could just slot straight in. Liverpool have bought youth for the most part. Young players who take a lot of time, and we've got players like Rio Engamoa who are playing a big part. We've got Wirtz, we've got Ekatike, we've got Frimpong, Kirkes. These are players who are 23, and younger, a lot younger in Engamoa's case, playing a really, really big role for us, whereas Arsenal don't really have to do that. They've got Martinelli and Eze and Trossard and experienced players, and that's just on the left-hand side, So they've taken a different approach. A completely different approach. that hasn't served them very well over the last 6 years, but maybe it will this season. That's the gamble, isn't it, ultimately? Could Liverpool have gone out and bought a load of ready-made players? Could we? Could we have spent less on Isak and Wirtz and maybe bought, instead of 100 million on Wirtz, could we have bought two £50 million players? Yeah, we probably could. Absolutely, we definitely could. But as we know, the going rate for a very good player nowadays is about 60, 70 million. If Ekatiki's 70 million, it's 2! Oh, Wrexham 2, it's Kiefer Moore again! It's 2-1 to Wrexham! Oh, Coventry are falling to bits. Coventry falling to bits here. Rybander, how long does Slot get if he can't fix it? I can't see it happening. Slot's going nowhere, mate. Slot is here next season. No matter what happens, he's here next season. Reveal clothing, Isak is turning into Torres, the Chelsea version. Hey, Torres won an awful lot at Chelsea, didn't he, if nothing else? Scoring from two corners against Frankfurt to set pieces too. Oh, hang on. Well, okay. Well, if we're just being facetious, then we didn't win 2-0 against Frankfurt, did we? Oh, silly me. Silly me. We won 2-0 against Frankfurt from two set pieces. Again, we can all play clever dick, can't we? And if it's not a serious conversation, then hey, we don't have to participate. That's fine. It's a two-way street, isn't it? But you said it yourself. 4 of our 8 wins have come from set pieces, but you included one that didn't come from set pieces. So that means that 5 of our 8 wins have not come from set pieces. Whereas Arsenal are ranked 17th in the league for open play goals. So, we want to talk facts. Let's talk facts. There you go. That's all you need to know. You're talking about corners and set pieces. I'm not digging out corners and set pieces, but it's quite obvious that that's the main string to your bow. Daniel, can you stop the stream? Your bad luck for Coventry. Hey, Coventry falling apart here. So much for them going up. Wrexham are picking them apart. Wrexham have been the better team tonight, honestly. They've been the better team. They've deserved to be in front, in my opinion. It's not been a great performance from Coventry. They've been rattled. Reveal says, what do you make of Slot's excuses after Palace game about squad depth? They weren't excuses. No, I assume you've not seen the full clip. Like I said, we said this earlier. People came in and said the same thing earlier, mate. It's not excuses when he very specifically says, this isn't an excuse for our performance. Literally word for word, he said that. You go and watch the press conference, you'll see. Adam, good on you scouting championship sides, mate. The way Arne Slot's going, you might be playing in the championship. Hey, I don't think we'll be scouting Coventry the way they've played tonight. We might need Kiefer Moore, though. 2 goals from him. He's an absolute cheat code in the championship, says Liam. BXD says, could have spent the money on a bit more variety rather than who's scoring goals at the moment. Well, you could say that. Yeah, I mean, again, everyone's got 20/20 hindsight after the fact, haven't they? Nobody said at all that Isak was a bad signing when we signed him, right? No, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have said that Isak was a bad signing. And at the top level, at the very, very top, highest level, it's those strikers that make a difference. It's not... You don't go and get two £50 million strikers and expect them to make a difference in a Champions League final. You generally go and get the best ready-made strikers and they make a difference. And that's what we've seen. Huncho says, okay, so by your logic, I'll take out the games that we scored a goal from open play, the same game as a set piece. Do it, yeah, that's fine. That's no problem. You'd still be ranked 17th in the league for open play goals. There you go. That's it, man. It doesn't change anything. You're still ranked 17th in the league for open play goals. So, yeah, good luck. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Ethan says, do you think Liverpool are going to get back to winning ways? I do, yeah. I think we'll beat Villa this weekend. 3-star Reds, one thing missing from Wrexham v Coventry is a set piece. We've seen 3 good goals, though, I'll say that. I think that the first Kiefer Moore goal was offside. We've seen 3 very good goals, though. BXD, I knew Isak was a mistake. How do you take a player who thinks he's bigger than the club he's at? He didn't think he was bigger than the club he was at. What makes you say he thinks he's bigger than the club he's at? I didn't think he was. I didn't think he behaved like that at all at Newcastle. Huncho, how would we still be 17th if I take the games we score, open play and set pieces? What do you mean take the games? If I take the games we score, open play and set pieces, that's not good England, mate. That isn't very good England. Let's go again. Gary Nugent just downed Tools for the move. He didn't down Tools. He kept training. He just let him know that he wanted to leave. Kept training, did everything he needed to. He just told him that he wanted to leave after the club broke promises to him. It's standard. You can't break promises to a top player and expect them to just be fine. And ultimately, if a player says, "Look, I want to leave," then the club have a decision to make, don't they? The club have a decision to make, and the decision that Newcastle came to was, we're gonna sell you. There's plenty of clubs that don't. There's plenty of players who say, "I want to leave," and the club say, "No, you're staying," and they keep them. That's happened. That's happened many a time. Newcastle could have kept Isak. He just said, "I want to leave." There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Players do that all the time. All the time, players say they want to leave clubs. Luis Diaz said it to Liverpool. He said, "I want a new contract." We said no. He said, "All right, well, I want to go then." And we said, "Okay, well, we'll only sell you if we get someone paying big money." Bayern Munich came in, paid big money, off he went. It's the same thing with Isak. It's no difference. BXD says that wasn't the talk, though. They got rid because he was being a child about being told no. What do you mean being a child? In what way was he being a child about being told no? He did everything that he was obliged to do. He literally came in every single day and trained as normal. He did everything that he needed to do. No difference. Steve McNair. Now, Steve, how's it going, man? Good to see you. And 3-Star Red says, Coventry have surprised me in this one so far. Still 15 minutes, though, for them to strike back. Yeah, listen, we need a Coventry goal, I think. Desperately need... I've got Coventry to win tonight, but I've got them draw no bet, so I could do with Coventry getting back into this. BXD, he refused to play games, lad. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. What he said was, "I've got an injury," which again is incredibly common. He said, "I've got an injury, and I'm not going to be ready for the tour." Again, it's really common, incredibly common. Pretty much every player said, "Yeah, I've got a bit of a back strain." Players laugh. Go on every single ex-player podcast. They all talk about it. They all talk about English players too. It's not just a foreign thing. It's just absolute commonplace. He asked for a new contract. Newcastle said, "Yep, we'll give you a new contract, no problem." They then pulled the rug on that. They promised him they'd sign a load of new players to help him compete at the top level. Didn't do that. He then said in the summer, "I want to leave." He told Eddie Howe in like March time, I believe, March, April, May, something like that. Not May, March or April, I think it said. So he told him before the end of the season, gave Newcastle sufficient warning. Trained as he normally did. He just told him, I don't want to play for the team. And he didn't actually say that, to be fair. He said he's got an injury, didn't he? That was at least the news that came out, was I've got an injury. Whether or not he actually had an injury, I guess, is anyone's guess. But it's incredibly common. Exactly, yeah, injury, yeah, he had an injury. Adam says, Isak should have put in an official transfer request to have a pre-season with Liverpool, but putting in a transfer request meant no bonuses. I know, but why should he then? Why should he forfeit a bonus? Why should he forfeit? You wouldn't do it. Nobody else would do it. If he thought he was going to get the move anyway, without putting a transfer request in, then fine. Doesn't need to, does he? It's a game of chicken, effectively, isn't it? It's a game of who blinks first. He's saying, "I don't want to play, I've got an injury." And Newcastle are going, "Right, well, we don't want to sell you." But he knows they're going to sell him. He knows they're going to sell him, and eventually they did, because they had to. Because he knows that Liverpool have put 120, 130 million on the table, And Newcastle would be stupid to not take it for a player who doesn't want to play for them anymore. Christopher Flaherty says slot out. Yeah, not a Liverpool fan, Christopher. Chance for Coventry. Oh, unlucky. PXD says he trained all alone because he was throwing his dummy. No, he trained all alone because he didn't want to play for them. That was it. He trained alone under instruction from Eddie Howe. He didn't ask to train alone. The club made him train alone. The club literally said to him, you're going to come in after all of the other players have left. They put him on ridiculous training sessions and he still came in and did it. Ethan says, so what's your score prediction for United Forest? Forest 2-1. Yeah, Forest 2-1, I think. BXD says, so he was being a spoilt child, then you're saying the same thing, just differently. No, what I'm saying is that I think a player has every right to say, I don't want to be at the club anymore. I have done everything that I need to do. I've helped you win, a trophy for the first time in 70 years or whatever it was for Newcastle. I've helped you do an unbelievable thing. You're not meeting my expectations. You have pulled a promise of you said you was going to bring new players in to help me meet my ambitions. You said you was going to give me a big new contract. Neither of them you've done. So you've lied to me. So I want to leave the club. I don't think that's childish. That's not childish, is it? That's not childish. Huncho says, apparently Ekatiki, Zach never knew that. Always. Anyways, have a good one, lad. Yeah, alright, see you later, Huncho. See you later, mate. Daniel, who is your favourite Liverpool player out of the new signings? I like Ekatiki a lot. Yeah, I like Ekatiki a lot. But I think in time, I think Wirtz will be a real game changer for us. It's just going to take a little bit of time for him, and the system needs to settle down a bit. Callum, you're not done out for Ween. Well, no, I've not dressed up. No, I've not dressed up for Halloween. RJ says Arsenal are the only team worth talking about right now. End of. I disagree with that. No, I disagree with that. We talk about everyone on this channel, mate. I'm talking about Coventry and Wrexham earlier part of tonight, and then people have come in and wanted to talk about Liverpool. And Manchester United. We've talked about United. We talked about Arsenal, Liverpool, United, Chelsea. Where do you think Chelsea are going to finish? We talked about Everton briefly. We talked about a bit of everything tonight, haven't we, to be fair? Palace as well. What about Palace and Villa? We talked about them. Gary says, sure, you's booed Trent. Oh, we haven't booed Trent. We might well boo Trent. Yeah, the fans might well boo him when he comes back. Adam says, Ekatiki showing Wirtz how to make the transition from the Bundesliga. Takes time though, doesn't it? Takes time. Plenty of players do take time. Reveal Clothing says, still think United won't get top 4. They'll be top 4 easily. Hey, something tells me we'll be revisiting that comment at the end of the year. Christ. Yeah, there's no way United finish top 4. There's absolutely no way they finish in the top 4. Gary says Isak's okay. Well, Isak didn't do the same thing as Trent. Yeah, Isak didn't do the same thing as Trent. Isak got his team a record transfer fee and told them very early that he wanted to leave. Trent Alexander-Arnold had been learning Spanish for over a year and had been saying he wanted a new contract and he wanted to captain Liverpool until after the January transfer window, until he had he had 6 months left on his contract. He was still saying he wanted to stay and sign a new contract. He was learning Spanish. Completely different with Trent than it is to Isak. But again, there's plenty of people either don't know that or willfully ignore that because they're looking for they're looking for something to have a dig at, which is fine. That's all fine. Daniel, who do you make favourites for the Carabao Cup? Chance, it's 3! It's 3! And it's a Kiefer Moore hat-trick! Oh, I tell you what, Coventry have fallen to bits tonight. Everyone's been saying that Coventry are going to come up. They're absolute certainties to come up to the Premier League. But I tell you what, I wouldn't be so sure. They have been absolutely dominated tonight by Wrexham. From start to finish, it's been Wrexham. Kiefer Moore with a hat-trick. A great finish, that one. Left-footed. Couple of really big... Do you know what? I think that might be a perfect hat-trick. I think he's done left foot, right foot header, hasn't he? 3 big goals for Kiefer Moore. Absolute cheat code, says Liam. Gary says, my God, mate, Trent played out his contract, but he didn't tell the team. He didn't tell his childhood club, his boyhood club, that he wanted to leave. And that is the respect that Liverpool fans would have afforded or would have expected of him. And it is what Isak afforded Newcastle, isn't it? That minimal modicum of respect. Isak gave it to Newcastle. Trent didn't give it to Liverpool, and that is why Liverpool fans were so annoyed. Whether or not they boo him, I don't know. I personally, I'm not the last. I wouldn't boo him. I mean, I'm not going to be at the game to boo him anyway, but yeah, I'm not that last. He can go and do what he wants. Liam says they've just said it's the perfect hattie. Yeah, I was going to say I thought it was. I didn't know if the second was his right foot, but inevitably it was. But I know he had a left foot and a header. Good finishes as well. Callum, I've got Liverpool 1, Villa 1 tomorrow. Hey, we'll see. We shall see. BXD says Trent saw the ship sinking and sold before the dip. Aye, well, St Killerman and Dye will. St Killerman and Dye will dive before the Everton ship goes down. You've been circling the plug hole for that long. I don't think you'll be able to sell him, to be honest, will you? Kuram, Liverpool are in the mud. Liverpool are in the mud. Hey, we're 3 points off second, Chief. I think we'll see by the end of the season who's in the mud, and it won't be Liverpool. Callum, is it Sky or TNT? I think it's Sky, mate. Yeah, Sky Saturday night, 8 o'clock. I could be wrong, though. BXD says 3 points off second, so third then. No, we're 3 points off second right now. It is feasible that Liverpool could finish the end of the weekend in second. We could be in second at the end of Sunderland v Everton on Monday night. Liverpool could be in second, yeah. It's entirely plausible. Pup says, is this the turnaround part of the Wrexham Disney movie? It could happen. Liverpool's on TNT on Saturday, sorry. Callum, I'm just being reliably informed. Cheers for that, Liam and Chris. Reveal says, won't be long till you're saying 3 points off top 4. Hey, it might be. It might, like I said, at different points throughout the season, it could well be. You can't really... The table frequently tells lies throughout the season. As it is right now, by the way. You know, we've got bloody Sunderland in the top 4. So, yeah. Sunderland are in the top 4, and I don't think they'll be playing Champions League football at the end of the season. Liverpool are 7th. I'm confident we won't be in the Conference League next season. Daniel says, what have you made of the Premier League injury table? I haven't looked so in depth at the Premier League injury table, but let's take a look at it now. Why not? What are you hoping to garner from the Premier League injury table? Are you trying to make a point in particular? Reveal clothing. How much did the United defeat hurt you? I mean, I don't know. How are we scoring that? I mean, what's the out of 10? How much did it hurt me? It didn't really hurt. I mean, yeah, it hurt in the moment. Yeah, of course it hurts in the moment. You don't want to lose to United, but, like, We've battered them for however long. What a goal! Coventry 3-2. Sakamoto with a goal. He's rocketed it into the top corner. What a finish that is. What an absolute screamer that is from Sakamoto. 3-2. Hey, and it could be 3. It could be on for a. Could be on for an absolute end of the game. This one could be brilliant. Yeah, how much did the United defeat hurt you? I don't know, mate. 6. 6 out of 10, let's say. Because, yeah, we've beat United pretty consistently over the last 10 years, and we've done them 7-0 and 5-0 and 4-0, and I think we've done 4-0 multiple times, haven't we? I mean, yeah. We've been very blessed, and we've battered United a number of times over the years, so, you know, a defeat, it's always due to happen at some point. Doesn't change an awful lot. Daniel says, no real point, maybe just don't write off Man City. Oh no, mate, I've not written off Man City. I think Manchester City absolutely can challenge for the title. Personally, I think City could be Arsenal's... I think they could win it, yeah. They could be Arsenal's biggest threat this season. It's a couple of great goals tonight. I tell you what, we've seen some 5 goals tonight. I have been thoroughly impressed with the finishes we've seen. Coventry's 2 goals are absolutely top class. And apart from the first for Kiefer Moore, the other 2 are brilliant. We've seen at least 4 absolutely unreal goals tonight. Some really, really good finishes. Wrexham with a long ball forward and the through. Unlucky, very unlucky. Reveal says won't be long until you're looking up the table at the Everton. At Everton, up the toffees. Hey, well, not really. Everton, 1 win in 7. I was saying this earlier, mate. Everton 1 win in 7. That's pretty much standard form for Everton, isn't it, really? Headline news when Liverpool win 1 win in 7, but yeah, Everton 1 win in 7. Nobody's really talking about it. Sporting have just gone 1-0 in front against Alverca. Daniel, Tattoo Hero Sakamoto is my favourite City player. And Liam Manny says Luton game was 4-3. Cracking comeback for Forest Green. I think this one could yet be 3-3, you know. We're into the 90th minute. George Thomason's about to come on for Matty Jones. He's had a good game. Sorry, Matty James, not Matty Jones. Matty James has had a good game. And Thomason comes on. Callum says, Everton's big night out. They lost 3-0 to equal our points. They lost 3-0. Yeah, I was going to say, they've had a bad run of it recently, Everton, and it's going to take some time, innit, for them to get back up to a steady level, I think. Veal, can you at least admit Liverpool spend bad this summer? You can't really make a conclusion on that. I don't think you can make a conclusion on that. I think it's too early. You can't draw a conclusion after 9 games, mate. You just can't. You can't. It's impossible. You can't draw a conclusion after 9 games. And especially when Liverpool have made most of their signings. We've signed mostly young players who are 22, 23... You know, young players who take a bit of time to adapt. It always happens, whereas Arsenal have gone out and bought 27, 28, ready-made, you know, players who can step up straight away. It's just a different strategy. But that's because Liverpool and Arsenal have maybe different goals. Liverpool are looking to rebuild. We're in a slightly different phase. We've already won the title, whereas Arsenal absolutely have to win something. That's why they're buying, and maybe had to buy, ready-made right now. Daniel, who do you think has been the signing of the season? That's a good question. Signing of the season in the Premier League. Honestly, up to now, I think Granit Xhaka's probably up there. Yeah, Granit Xhaka's been sensational. There's a few. I mean, I think Zubamendi's been really good for Arsenal. I think we'd have to look at Zubamendi. We'd have to look at probably Xhaka. I would give it to Xhaka. I thought he'd be a game changer for Sunderland. I think he's done really, really well So yeah, I think in terms of game changer signings for teams being where they shouldn't be, you know, I think everyone would expect the rest of the teams to kind of be broadly where they are. Bournemouth, I think Truffert for Bournemouth has been a brilliant signing as well. So I'd look at Truffert. Zubimendi's been good, but you know he's a good player. We would expect him to be good. He's 60 million quid. Like you kind of expect that. Whereas Granit Xhaka coming in and taking Sunderland to where they are in the league, you'd have to say so far, I can't really look past Granit Xhaka. I think he's been a really good signing. Voltemade has been good, and Burmo, I'm not sure. Yeah, and Burmo's a really good player, but I don't think he's not lit up Man United, has he? He's not. He was part of the United side that was struggling for a long time. Daniel says Arteta taught Xhaka ball. Yeah, I'd say Xhaka's up there. I think I'd probably give Diarra a shout as well for Sunderland. Habib Diarra's been a good signing. Yeah, really, really good signing. I think if Sunderland do end up going down, he will be one of the ones that end up getting picked off. Wrexham on the counter-attack here. We've got a minute left. They're just going to take it into the corner, I think. Literally 60 seconds here for Coventry to try and get the ball and get it up the other end of the pitch. That's going to be a foul. Nailed on foul. Joe, always knew you got your season ticket in a Happy Meal. I haven't got a season ticket. Daniel, I never really understood why Xhaka wanted to leave Arsenal. Probably to win something, I guess. Yeah, he probably wanted to win things. He's kind of always... I feel like Xhaka's a little bit like Bruno Fernandes at Man United. He kind of got taken the piss out of a lot, didn't he? United fans kind of dig Bruno out at times, even though he's obviously their best player. And I think Xhaka got a little bit of that treatment as well at Arsenal when he was there. He's quite obviously their best player for such a long time and just never quite worked out. Went to Leverkusen and did so well. Excuse me. I think we are going to be pretty much done now. Daniel says he didn't move to Leverkusen to win the Bundesliga. It's almost a given Munich win every season. I don't know, maybe he saw ambition there. Inevitably he saw something because they won it, didn't they? Right, there you go, 3-2, full time. Kiefer Moore hat-trick has won it on the night for Wrexham. Huge result that for Wrexham, and Coventry, it's just not been their day, has it? They've been pretty poor, I think, Coventry. Good result for Wrexham, and we go into tomorrow's games. I'll be live tomorrow, by the way. Premier League football tomorrow. We've got Nottingham Forest against Manchester United. What a big game that's going to be. Straight after that, we have got Chelsea away at Spurs, I believe. Is that the next game? I'm sure after United. Who have we got tomorrow? Let's go again. Who have we got? No, it isn't Chelsea Spurs. That's thingy. We've got Nottingham. Oh, it is. Yeah, sorry. Spurs against Chelsea is the next one. It's United away at Forest. Then it's Spurs Chelsea, and then it's Liverpool Villa. We've got 3 games tomorrow, and then on Sunday I'm doing West Ham against Newcastle, followed by City against Bournemouth, and then on Monday Night Football we've got Sunderland against Everton. Big old game, that one as well. So I will see you all tomorrow. If you're around, make sure you've liked, make sure you've subscribed, all the good stuff. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a lovely Halloween night, whatever you're doing. Take it easy.